Hey, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the H Train Show, where our only mission is so programs out there beyond the VA.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
We begin on the tracks, rails stretching beyond the horizon. Each tie a memory, each rail a promise of where we might go. In the early years, our first logo appeared, a pioneer stepping onto the platform of possibility. Through seasons of growth, change, and challenge, we moved forward. The whistle of opportunity sounded, and we boarded the train of time. The view changed with every mile, some stations brief, others lasting. Our logos changed too, not just emblems, but mile markers of evolution. Along the way, seats filled with teammates, mentors, veterans, and friends. Some stayed for the ride, others stepped off, leaving their legacy on the rails behind us. And still, the journey continues. The tracks ahead stretch into the unknown, familiar yet full of new promise. What matters most is how we travel, with purpose, with grit, with heart. Because the journey matters, the movement matters, and the legacy of those logos, every year, every show, lives on in the rhythm of these rails. So here we are once again, all aboard. The whistle blows, the tracks call. Together we ride. We are the H Train Show, showing veterans programs beyond the VA since 2015. H is in the building now.
Let's go! Strap in, this one's for the fighter! I took the oath. 20 years I gave my soul. Sandstorms, fire, a roadside blast. Everything I knew shattered fast.
You haven't seen nothing yet! Woo!
Drowning in turmoil, 15 meds, mine in a haze. Living felt like a permanent dead. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. Voice of the broken, thunder in my chest. With the freedom fighters rising from the wreck. Parents pulled me from the edge of night, pushed me forward back into the light. Ski boots on, carving through pain. Found my fire on that frozen terrain. Said I was too old to beat the race, so I trained like hell, put them in their place. From slurred words to a podium stand. Yeah, I'm racing with lightning in my hand. Still standing, scarred and proud. Crushed by war, but I won't stay down. From Kokomo to Olympic slopes, we're the freedom fighters born to cope. Now I take the mic, not a rifle. Broadcast truth, yeah, that's survival. Paralyzed, but still I lead. With every word we plant a seed. Still standing, warriors loud. Can't break us, we scream it proud. Not wounded, we're on the attack. Freedom fighters, and we're taking it back. Freedom fighters, yeah, yeah. Keep rising.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is Throwback That Ass Friday. I guess, yeah, we can't do that Throwback That Ass that Thursday thing anymore because we're on Friday now. What's up, everybody? This is H Train, and you're locked into the H Train Show. We're here. We're keeping it real. we're showing all our veterans and our first responders, all the programs out there beyond the VA, even for those uniforms that are across the seas. We're keeping it honest and to keep the mission first. As always, I'm not riding solo. And just a second, my co-host MJ, my eye candy for the show, is jumping in with me. And trust me, you're going to want to stay for today's conversation. Today's show is about service beyond the uniform. We're sitting down with Justin Moore to talk about his military career, the mindset that shaped him, and the civil service project he's working on right now to give back to those who have served. This isn't about what he did while wearing the uniform. It's about what service looks like after the uniform comes off. Then we're shifting gears into our WTF segment, where we break down the military is showing SEALs how to educate soldiers. I know, that's what I thought too. Just bear with us, and we'll show you later on that how the knowledge translates and what it really means when we talk about educating and preparing our soldiers for the world they're actually facing today. And later, when we drop the mic, we're going somewhere a little uncomfortable but necessary. We're going to be talking about, and this is where MJ comes in. She's kind of our like Dr. Phil. We're talking about transitional and transactional friendships, using TikTok as a real world example. Who's there for you when it's convenient? Who's there when it's hard? And how you learn to tell the difference when you're transitioning out of the military into civilian life. So buckle up. This is a conversation with purpose. This experience over ego. And this is the H Train Show. MJ, let's get into it. How are you?
Dude, I'm still haven't slept for the night. I'm great. Look how great I look after not sleeping for 24 hours. That's how pumped I am, baby.
You know, it was so great. We won't say what was saying. We won't say what was saying off air, but her significant other has a kidney stone. I gave her a way to resolve it, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm going to take that as a joke."
Okay, I'm going to come off really sassy, and I don't mean to come off sassy, but I consider myself a professional kidney stone passer after 73 stones, right? That's astronomical at a wee little young age that I am.
Yeah.
So, you know, I look at him passing 1 2 millimeter, and I passed an 8 millimeter. And I'm looking at him going, buck up, cowboy. Let's go. And even though I don't have your fire hose, buck up. He did not take too kindly to that.
That's so funny. That's so funny. But you've been in the emergency room all night. You barely made it here for the show, which I appreciate that. I really do. But you barely made it. So
I know. I was here 15 minutes beforehand. That is awesome.
Yeah. You know,
I'm a do-all girl.
I'm telling you, I appreciate it. I really do. And, you know, we had a soldier when I was in Iraq. He was passing a kidney stone. And I remember him going on like patrols and stuff. And, you know, we gave him shit and stuff because he was like moving slow and stuff. But now as time has passed and I know, you know, how kidney stones feel. Like I know how kidney stones, you know, kind of work. Oh, you changed the, you changed where the camera is, Lucas. I didn't know that. Okay. So, but because of what I saw, his name is Brad Foster, Sergeant Foster. He had a kidney stone, and like I was amazed. He was on convoys. He was on you know, showing presence. He was doing that for a good like 3 weeks, and I'm like, Jesus, man, I don't know how you do it. So for those that have passed the kidney stone, my respect to you, let me tell you. All right, hey, you know what, MJ? We have a special mail call this week. Mail call time.
Attention, mail call.
Hartman! Bermudez! Hartman!
All right, so unfortunately, Lucas, you're gonna have to scroll. In fact, I don't know. How good are you at reading, Lucas? It might be more beneficial for you to read this than for me to read it, because I can barely read it because I'm not like literally sharing screen. I could try.
Sure thing. Our own life using lessons learned from training. So here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or I guess out of Pennsylvania, I don't know. New Jersey Army National Guard specialist Santa Drinks survived a drive-by shooting and credits her survival to the skills that she learned while in U.S. Army basic combat training. So 3 years later, Drinks looks back on the night of the shooting as a defining moment, and she remembers the seconds as bullets whizzing past her just as clearly as the long road to recovery. Everything that happened to me is the reason why I joined, Drinks said. I joined to escape gun violence in the city, but I also joined to become a role model so that my community has someone to look up to, especially now. To her, the shooting would serve as a proof of the U.S. Army's ability to forge the tenacity needed to survive in armed conflict. She relied on that tenacity on the summer evening of her shooting. For the first time since leaving initial entry training, Drinks faced an impasse, leaving the structured world of the training and beginning the task of reintegration back into civilian life. Drinks sought the company of her boyfriend and her best friend. I was still getting adjusted to being home. I was excited to see them. I had so much to talk about. I had just returned from basic, and at the time I knew I had plans to switch to active duty. They spoke beneath an old portico lit by fluorescent street lamps and a glow from the opaque windows of nearby apartments. Hours had passed. It was 10 p.m., and a few people were out. We spoke for a while, she remembered. In the midst of us talking, my boyfriend was looking around. He was beginning to show signs of paranoia. When you're from Philly, it's instinct to watch our surroundings, but it was like he was watching them more than normal. Something was off. All attempts at pointing out Drink's boyfriend's paranoia were met with superficial responses. He denied any a reason for concern, though he seemed clearly overcome by caution. The longer we spoke, the more he began to look past me. The conversation ended abruptly as a figure approached them from a distance. My boyfriend was looking at this person as if we knew him. He came within 3 feet. Before they could react, the figure quickly unholstered a gun. Drinks and her boyfriend were shot. Her best friend fled to cover, unharmed, as the scene erupted into chaos. Bullets were flying. Survival was all she knew, and all we knew in the moment. He was firing toward the left side of my body, so I turned to the right to move away from the gunfire. I fell as my boyfriend pushed me to get me out of harm's way. A shot turned to shots, revealing that the assailant's weapon had been modified with an extension. They called it a switch around these parts. Drinks said the assailant fled, firing more shots as he ran. Drinks' boyfriend was injured, hunched in the prone position, ducking as bullets whizzed past her. Drinks quickly assessed her wounds and realized that some of her intestines had been exposed. I held on to my stomach with my left hand, lightly pressing onto wounds to control the blood leaking from my gut. I began to crawl slowly to cover with my right arm. Still firing as he fled, the assailant forced Drinks to low crawl to cover while her boyfriend was out of view. A sense of familiarity took hold in her. The night infiltration course left its impact, she recalled. Drinks made it to cover and was beside her best friend, both in a state of panic. They called the police as the assailant fled the scene. I remember telling her, we aren't going to make it to my car, Drinks recalled. Mustering what little adrenaline she had left, Drinks stood, climbed the porch of her apartment, and waited for emergency medical services. Call the cops, Drinks' boyfriend shouted in panic. Moments later, he lost consciousness. Drink stayed on the porch, unable to move, and she held her intestines, trying to cope with the fact that her boyfriend was unconscious. Her guts had split, and her best friend was beside herself. I had to remain calm. That's what the drills always told us. If I didn't, I knew for certain I was going to die right there. Taking every step she knew and staying awake, Drinks did all she could to retain a lucid headspace while waiting for the authorities.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
Yeah.
we just wanted to highlight that. That's
Yeah.
that's an incredible thing, And I mean, we're not going to really get into it. I'm just going to kind of I'm going to throw a statement out there. Because I don't want to get political, but I do want people to know that it's out there, and I want to make a statement just so people can kind of reflect on it, and so people can kind of think about, chew on it for today. So everybody's heard about the situation that happened yesterday, or I don't think it was yesterday, but it happened this week with ICE and the shooting and all that stuff. The only thing that I'm going to bring up, because I don't want to get political, okay, but when as a society, and this is what I would like to know, because I'm military, when I deployed to Iraq, that situation happened to us at least 5 or 6 times. It's a soccer mom. I don't care if she was maybe a witch or something in the background. I don't know. I don't know the full story, but when we were doing presence in Iraq, and we had vehicles attacking us like that, our ROE was shoot out the engine block. Because I'll tell you right now, shooting out the engine block, it works, except if it's a Toyota. If you shoot an engine block in a Toyota keeps on going. I'm telling you, you talk about a vehicle that takes a licking, Toyota takes a licking. But why is the military held to a different standard than ICE or police officers here on U.S. soil? I don't want anybody to answer that. I just want people to kind of think about that and kind of reflect, because that's what we're kind of dealing with, Match force with force. If the person doesn't have a weapon, even if they're charging you with a weapon or with a vehicle, take out the engine block or take out the tires. I still don't get that. And like I said, I don't want people to answer that. I want people just to think about that we need consistent standards through everything. Because if we have consistent standards through everything, we're not gonna run into these morality issues that we're running into. That's just my opinion. So I just wanted to bring up that, and just so everybody knows, they're not covering a whole lot in the media world, but I just want to give everybody a heads up that right now there's a protest going in Iran, because Iran's government has shut down the internet access and the international phone service nationwide. Amid massive protests, the blackout began on January 8, 2026. According to multiple monitoring groups and news reports, this action has effectively cut off most originary users from global internet. So if you're a TikTok people and you've been doing lives and there's not some weird TikTok doing a battle, and it's probably the reason why is because they've shut down. The shutdown follows escalating unrest that began over economic issues late in December 2025 and has spread across the country. Media is monitoring, and network data shows that the blackout is consistent with international government action to restrict digital communications during the protest. So those two things I just want to throw out so that people know that stuff is going on. Like I said, I don't want to get political. I don't want to say right or wrong. I want to keep it straight in the middle, but I did want everybody to know that, that's going on, and also I tell you what, I don't know if it's, hell, we're only 9 days into 2026, and this you can answer, but is it just me, or is like I've been having a hell of a month? I don't know if it's like season depression or if things have just been like, kicking on my brain and kicking on everybody's brain. But like when I open up the internet, there's so many people that are going through a hard time right now. And I think that one of the reasons why everybody's going through a hard time is because when a new year comes, it's almost like everybody feels or everybody thinks they're obligated to change something, to be better, resolutions, going to the gym, cutting weight, stuff like that, and the only thing that changes from 25, and we'll go to break here soon. The only thing that changes from 25 to 26 is when you're writing checks or you're signing documents and contracts, and you got to remember it's not 25 anymore, it's 26. That's the only thing that changes. The way you treat people, the way you treat yourself, the way that you go about your day, it shouldn't change in the year. And I think sometimes we feel that we're obligated to change something or to do something better. And sometimes that obligation can really overwhelm you. It can really overwhelm you, especially if people are expecting something from you and you can't deliver. I'm going to get your take on that, MJ, real quick. And MJ, did you have a report that you wanted to read before we go to break?
Yes, and yes, sir. So a couple of things. I love that the people who go through military tactical training, it is so brain set in their methods of how they taught it, and kudos to Miss Drinks. That's number one. Number two, what's going on in Minnesota? It's been going on in Minnesota for 15, 20 years, and nobody has done anything about it. So, que sera, somebody's going to get hurt, just like Chicago every damn day. You cannot. And I'm going to advise every single person out there, shut your TVs off. Shut them off. And that's not political. That is spiritual. Shut them off, because there's nothing but negative out there. And so when negative sees negative, we harbor it. So stop it. It's anger, it's resentment. And that's why people have kidney stones: anger, resentment, and having ideology of trying desperately to fix something that somebody doesn't want fixed. So that's how you get kidney stones. Second thing, I want you to know that 2026 equals the number 6 and 2 is 8 and 2 is 10 equals a 1. It is the beginning of all that is. That is the highest scope in any religional doctrine you can believe. It is a number 1. It always has to start. In order for something to start anew, you have to get rid of the old. So you are dead straight. As a spiritualist and as somebody who believes in highest consciousness outside the religional boundaries, you have nailed it, Jewel. So congratulations. It is that it is an ending. It's an ending point. So of course, the first 2 weeks, you heard me on my show say, saddle in, baby, because here comes the fire horse, right? The Chinese fire horse. And if you started creating I got to let this go before the new year, then that is why the house is crumbling, because we need to set it straight. Every downfall comes a beautiful new beginning and a beautiful learned lesson. And instead of looking at it as negative, set it in the face, smile, and say, let's do it. It's been way too long. Gotta cry, then you cry, because those tears are diamonds. And if you feel bad, shamed, or whatever, the negative aspects, guilt, shame, resentment, anger, frustration, those are not good. We got to bring them to the other side and say, thank you so much for enabling me to have to learn this lesson so I never have to do this again. And thank you for you to be the catalyst to get the seed inside of me and allow that fire horse to go through it the first 2 or 3 weeks here of 2026, because it's already clearing the stuff that we tried to uproot in December for a beautiful abundance. But today, Joel, now here it is. Today is considered one of the luckiest days, and it's because it's a 9. What is 9? 9 is completion. So everything that everybody's going to go through right now in that first month of 2026, it is because of completion. It is the luckiest day, and we treat it especially powerful and fortunate because it takes 2 3s, 2 triangular 3s, Father, Mother, God, right? Or what is it? Holy Ghost, Father, Son, and Holy Ghost.
Holy Son, Holy Ghost, yeah.
There you go. It takes 3. So you type that and you quadruple that pattern of 3, you get a 9. Please go out there and do your humanitarian energies and your maturity energies, and try not to get involved with anything right now to allow you to feel any of those negative signs. Find positive, because that abundance is yours and that power is yours and that fire horse is here. It is great energy. So please do it. And the number 9 today equals 9. Did you know that? Even if you add 1-9-2026 all up, 010926, it equals a 9. So how fortunate, again, today of the 9, the year, the balance, and the whole thing balances out. The angels like you to reassure you that you're qualified. It's now time to follow your soul's longing to be assistance to people, animals, and environment for the world at large in some fashions. Find your hiccup and jump over them. That's what the horse is about. You may be called to a new study or a course, to volunteer or pray, or for just simple acts of kindness, of humanity to others. Your life purpose involves serving others. Be the examples others want to follow. Angel power word today is freedom, baby. Freedom is your word today, and jump on that horse and take you to freedom, take you out of the chaos. And what does Job say? The patience of Job. And John says, as long as I can remain calm in chaos, then I am doing okay. So keep staying calm, turn off the shit news, and just go out and look at what God created, how beautiful. And you guys are having beautiful weather out there in Colorado for the last couple of days. I don't know what happened today, but you guys are having some real nice freaking weather. So
yeah. And MJ's very glad that she's not driving with me.
No, I love him to death, and I patched him all in angels and put all kind of crystal grids on his thing because I just love how he drives. That's it.
Before we go on break, I don't know if it's like a confession or announcement or whatever, but because I've been swamped in a down spiral here lately. I don't know if PTSD or just life drama.
A rabbit hole.
Yeah, I have no idea. But what I want to say is, so one of the rehabilitation things that I've been working on is I've been creating music. I've been taking AI tools. I cloned my voice in LLM Labs, and I made music, and I wrote up lyrics, and I actually have an album out now. I'm not shitting you. I have an album out now on Spotify and iTunes. And when we go on break, we'll probably play the song that I created before we do the interview. But I'm going to be playing the song, and the name of the song is "Just Because You're Right Doesn't Mean That You're Winning." It's something on the lines of that, and I'll play that. I'm really surprised. That and another song. I have 700 streams already within 24 hours, and I didn't even promote it. So it's a beautiful melody. The lyrics, I crafted them very easily, and I'm just learning about music. I learned the difference between a chorus and a bridge, and I never knew about that. I never knew about that. But
you weren't a dandy? Oh, that's right. You were a kicker. I was your bandy dandy.
Well, I tell you what, it's interesting. You know, it's kind of like I told Charles 2 or 3 days ago. If I don't know how to do something, because like we got the 3D printer, we're making these ducks and stuff, and we're like, well, shit, we're gonna start making MBR challenge coins with the 3D printer. I'm learning all this stuff. I'm not paying somebody like teach the veterans. I'm learning all this stuff so that when veterans come to us, we can show them how to do it. We can teach them how to do it. We can give them an outlet. And that's one thing that I liked about this singing, this music part, is it has really got a lot of stuff off of my chest, stuff that has have bothered me for many years. And I can sit there and I'll listen to the lyrics that I wrote. I'll have a good cry out, but I'm really surprised how rehabilitational it's been, because we love radio here, but sometimes there's just days that we don't want to talk, and that's one of the reasons why here at MBR we have what we call radio days. And those radio days, it's not that you're giving up. You just sometimes you just don't want to talk. Sometimes you just want to reflect, and you just want to what's the word, just meditate, so the
go within.
Yeah, the song and stuff is so I'm real excited about that. Lucas, go ahead and hit the rejoiner, and we're gonna go on a really quick music break. I'm talking about like 24 seconds, so whatever you do, stay with us, don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the 8th Train Show on the station that's letting our veterans be heard, MBR, 24 seconds. So don't get up, don't go pee or anything. We'll be right back to the What The segment. Don't go away.
You're stronger than you know and braver than you feel. One waddle at a time.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, and we are back. I told you it was going to be short. The reason why we're not playing the music videos is we're trying an experiment right now. For some reason, everybody likes us, but Spotify, they keep blocking our stuff. So the music videos are going to be on Roku. What? Okay, music videos are going to be on Roku. When we play our songs or whatever, it's going to be those little motivational moments that we have with Beaker. And the only reason why I'm going to be playing my song right before we get done with the drop the mic and we'll play that song, the only reason why we're going to play that is because I don't see them blocking it. But hell, what do I know? They might block it. I have no idea. But they're
blocking my intro song now.
Yeah, I mean, so we'll definitely figure it out. But we gave Caveman and HG the day off today just because it was like icy and stuff. Caveman was feeling a little under the weather. But last week, HG sent me this video. And we wanted to watch it. We wanted to share it. It's kind of neat. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is the What The segment.
Those are cool tats, man.
Oh, for real. Thank you, bro. You see the Cobra?
And what is this one?
Oh, this? That's my credo. No regrets.
You have no regrets?
Dad?
No.
Like not even a single letter?
No way. Not me.
Well, I love him. I think he's great.
Okay.
I think he's a real winner, Casey. If I were you, I wouldn't use protection.
The U.S. Navy is teaching sea lions to play video games, which means that it's somebody's actual job to develop video games for Navy sea lions. And now they've even developed multiplayer games so that they can play against their caretakers. But it's not because they're trying to build an aquatic esports team. Through their marine mammal program, the Navy trains sea lions to attach recovery lines to Navy equipment on the ocean floor. They work and train in the open ocean every day, and they're free to swim away if they'd like to, but over several decades, that's only happened a couple times. And that's because they seem to really enjoy their situation in the marine mammal program. In addition to protection from predators, daily health screenings, and guaranteed food, the program provides the Navy sea lions with tons of playtime, and the video games are just one way they're providing enrichment and mental stimulation. The video games also help us learn about how these marine mammals think and solve problems. And it turns out that the sea lions, like this avid gamer named Spike, love the video games so much that they'll come back to play again and again, whether or not they're being rewarded with fresh fish. So far, Spike and his friends have been able to work through mazes and collect moving objects using the navigation buttons. And many of them, like Spike, even do a little happy dance when they complete a level.
Isn't it amazing? And I feel quite lucky because recently I took a trip with my wife and we went to the Bahamas and we got to swim with the dolphins. And it's just amazing how, we can work hand in hand with animals, and like animals aren't like stubborn. Like they want to do stuff with us. They like to do stuff with us. In fact, they like to do stuff with us so bad that if they're not doing exactly what you want, animals, dogs especially, they kind of get depressed. I remember when 9/11 happened, and I read stories about how they were taking search and rescue dogs, and they were going through the rebel after 9/11, and the dogs, like, they would sit there and they would search and find these people, and these people, they were passed away, and like the dogs, like even though it served its purpose, the people were dead, and the dogs were depressed because of it, and they were trying to encourage the dogs to keep on working and stuff. Animals are just they're tremendous. We hear that saying all the time, we don't deserve animals, and it's just the truth. They're so loving creatures, and for us to find ways to involve them, to teach veterans, and to help with everyday society, it's just amazing. So I for sure wanted to share that. What are your thoughts, MJ?
Well, seals, especially seals, they are highly intelligent. I went to Galapagos and there were so many seals. I would swim with them and try to get close to them. And, human man kind of destroyed some of those seals by being abusive to them, just like a dog. But seals ornate, they claim that dogs came from seals in some theories. But I also think that our brains are so into read emotion of faces and behavior that we project that empathy and connection towards them. And also, you have to remember that connection is partly how humans are built to respond as well. So with them being trainable and them being very inquisitive and constantly wanting an attention of a human, it is really easy to understand what they are actually doing with them. Because in seals representation, seals, they represent spiritual interpretation, like emotional intelligence, intuitiveness, intuitions to play back and forth, throw a ball, kicks it back with no even training, safe vulnerability and connection between the conscious and subconscious, which is the land equals the consciousness and the sea equals the unconsciousness, like a human. So they have the abilities of both. So our empathy and our emotional deep patch and our deep connection, I love that they're doing this, because whales, like orcas, are the same thing. But seals are just generally responsive animals. They really are, just like dolphins. And humans are meaning making kind of creatures. But when we both can meet in the middle, just like this, then both land and sea win, and both Pachamama or Earth win. That's my take.
You know, I've seen so many videos because he was bringing that up. I've seen so many videos, and like it just breaks my heart. Like I'm like, oh, when a boat is like traveling, and a seal just jumps on the boat because there's a shark or there's a whale around trying to eat it, you know, and it's like, oh man, you know, how do you treat that? You know, I get it. It's the food chain. I get that, but still, it's
Hey, well, pretend that was in Iraq and they were Iraqi, and that was you, and you're running for safety. You're going to jump in your tank. You're going to jump in a bunker. You're going to jump in somewhere, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. You know, it just makes you think. You know, it makes you think, and you know, I used to be.
They're all connected, man.
I'm telling you, and you know,
even mushrooms are connected. They're the rulers of the forest. They tell the trees and leaves when to change. The study on mushrooms in the forest, just like these seals, is incredible. Incredible.
You know, I haven't did the whole mushroom thing. I haven't.
No, not eating mushrooms, just woodland mushrooms that grow in the woods. They are responsible for like lichen growing, your trees, your leaves changing in the fall, how the moisture is going to be in the ground. Your mushrooms send the signals to all the plants, trees. It is an amazing thing that they're seeing. And it's all, guess what it is? It's all music. It's all, if you actually connect the daubers to it, it is all sound. So frequency versus music is why it's healing versus seals and mushrooms. This is all coming together for all of us. If we just shut down the damn news, you can feel the vibration of how beautiful that is. Just take your shoes off, put your feet in the ground in the forest and sit down. You will have the most blessed music ever that will just recharge your soul. And people don't believe it, but I'm putting it at the mountain here for the vets to come up who have PTSD and get them up here so that they can do just that, because it's incredible just by holding a mushroom in a ground and not taking it out, is the vibration is off the chain. And you're like, I can't believe I just felt that. It's true. You can feel it. So it's kind of like the frog in the water. You can see the ripples of him croaking. And it is that frequency, that vibration. Yeah. I teach a class called What's Your Frequency? And it takes you through different genres of music to see where your pain is. That's why a lot of people are attached to music, because there's either they want the happiness, they want that oxytocin happiness level, but sometimes they have to read the songs. And that's me. When I get depressed or I find a troubling spot in my life, I sing, and I sing like off the chain loud. Maybe I can't sing, but I love the vibration that it gives me. And I will sing that same song that made me cry over and over and over and over and over again until I can reason with a flip pattern to balance.
You know, I think it's awesome when I like going to Big Lots. Usually it's Big Lots or Goodwill. I haven't ran into Walmart yet, but I've ran into it several times. Big Lots or Goodwill, where somebody has earphones and then they're singing because they think they sing like the greatest person in the world. And then when you're here, they're like, hey, yeah. You know, it's like, oh my God, dude, you know,
But then you have to go, he is so feeling that either that frequency, that vibration, or the word. Which one is it? And
right?
That's fun. Which one is he really feeling? And then look at him, and you have to laugh and smile going, man, I want to be that. That's the level I want to be right now. That happy.
Now we're going to get ready to play Drop the Mic, because the reason why I want to play this is because I want to hear your take on it. I want to hear your take. This is that Dr. Phil. You know, instead of us calling it Dropping the Mic, we should probably call this from now on Dr. Phil moment. You know, because it cracks me out whenever I'm like talking to my dad and he tells me something that's going on, and I sit there and I try to tell my dad, well, you know, you got to think of it this way, you know. And then my dad's like, okay, Dr. Phil, you know, maybe we should make that segment Dr. Phil. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Dropping the Mic.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just flip out.
Are you an ATM on this app? Let's face reality here, people. 90% of people on this app will always view you as just an ATM. They will just see you for what you can give to them. They can just see you for the amount that you can support them. Stop gifting in their room and watch the energy shift. Watch how they treat you. Stop going tit for tat, transaction for transaction with them. Stop gifting in their room and see if they continue to come in your room. Once your gifting starts to slow down, see who's still rocking beside you. See who's still in your room. Transactional relationships are absolutely killing you on this app. What do I mean by transactional relationship? I mean whenever you and your friend are filling each other's gift galleries, when you're dropping big gifts on each other, and one day you decide that you don't want to gift anymore, or you want to slow down your gifting, and then you never see that person again. That person never comes into your lives. That person never drops you a heart me. That person never comes in and says hello. Once again, people will only be around when it benefits them. Some people will only view you for your gifter badge. Some people will only view you as an ATM, and they will only view you for what you can offer them when you hold that monetary value in their life. Any support you get on this app should come from people who want to support you because they like you. They care about you as a person. They think you're special. They think you're interesting. You're a person behind that gifting badge. You're a person behind that account. You're a person behind the phone screen. All support that you get on this app should come from genuine sources. And if it doesn't, and if you find yourself constantly having to give and give and give to get support, that's not support even worth having. Trust me, it's draining you. And you know it is if you're watching this video and it speaks to you. Like I said, stop gifting as much. See who's around. See who's still rocking with you. And if you think they're your friend and they're no longer coming around because you can't give to them anymore, maybe you should think about finding different friends.
And you know, the one reason why I wanted to play that is because when I was talking to you this week and I told you I was kind of down and stuff, I think everybody's kind of down like that. And I think the reason why, me and my wife, one thing that we have in common is like our love language is gifting. That's our love language. Like I love to do things for people. I love to give them things or to do stuff for them, and I love to see their reaction. I do. I really love to see their reaction. But here's the problem: is sooner or later, your cup has to get refilled. It has to get refilled. And if you can't get it refilled, then you're going to go through the same process that I've been going through this last week, where you just kind of get depressed because you so much want for this person that you're like gifting or whatever, or you're doing stuff for. You want this person to reciprocate. But the thing is you can't do that. You can't do stuff for other people and expect them to reciprocate or to return the favor. Because number one, nobody asked you to save them. Okay, that's the first thing. Number two, everybody isn't going to have the same heart or the same mind as you. That's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. And number three, not everybody has the same upbringing or the same intentions, or not everybody has that same love language as gifting. And you gotta be careful. You really do gotta be careful, you know, that you don't get upset, that you don't expect anything in return, because if you do, it just makes it even worse. That's one thing that I've found out. Now, for the next 10 minutes or whatever, MJ, I would love you to, you know.
I'm going to break down a whole bunch of triggers here. So if this was my client, I'm going to break down all these triggers.
Yep. We just so you know, we have till 56 and then we got to go on. We have to go on break. So,
okay. So number one, he's talking about social transactions, which means that these are the people in your likes or your friends column on social media. I am going to really tell everybody again, it is mind and brainwashing about the number of people in you know, who you're hitting, who you're seeing, how many friends you have. I understand in a business realm that is really important. But if you think that you have a good customer, I had a lot of good customers at my stores, and I pretend that I'm just a social media blog. And they would come and they would purchase things, and to honor them, I absolutely wanted to do something special for them in my honor. It's a balance, right? They helped you, you helped them. It's a balance. That is what life's about. Life is really about balancing. But I'm going to shock you, because this guy here, anytime that you throw a trigger of being sad because whatever you gave did not come back in, then you did not give from the heart. You gave from shame, guilt, or repressed feelings. And why do I say that? Because these types of feelings, especially for what he's talking about, right? He's talking about this transaction, which means it's monetary. Like you said the other day, we made 70 cents. It's somebody's monetary, whether it's a penny, whether it's 5 cents, it's monetary. And so when you do this and then you lose them, or vice versa, honestly, the person who is feeling the dwell or the shame or that heartbreak, it truly goes back into having the fear. And you either have a fear of feeling very worthy or not useful. Right. And then you have the fear that you're being abandoned by somebody, and then, or you expect others to meet your needs. And when this happens, this all goes back into then having anxiety, stress, and depression, which is a very common fold for this type of social neglections. And when that happens, now it comments back into your faith mind power center, which is, do you truly believe that there is, do you truly believe that it is fair and unbalanced? Or do you just have a fear of the unknown of your faith of God? Because truly, the only person you should have the highest relationship is God. And remember, giving, it doesn't surprise me, Joel, that you're a giver and you found a giver because you connect same energies. As a giver, I want everybody to go, and I'm going to get beat up because of where you are in consciousness. And I always get beat up in my PTSD circles. When you sign that form, did you give with your heart to the United States of America and to the rules that govern what you just did? You, my friend Joel, I'm speaking to you at this moment. You have done that, which is why you constantly give. And you giving so much, sometimes, no matter if it's business, no matter if it's your brothers and sisters of arms, no matter if it's your reconnection within family, when that happens and you don't see the balance, you immediately go back into an unworthiness state. So that is what you are finding while you wrote your songs. You are trying to figure out that frequency level of pain in order for you to comprehend, because you felt that you are now giving. However, everybody has free will and free choice. And sometimes you can say, I am sorry, but the hurt for the other person is so strong. But that is on them. You have done your justice. You owned mistakes. And this is not Joel. This is man in general. If you have owned your mistakes and you have told them from your heart that you are sorry, and that person does not accept it, that's on them. And then you ask Archangel Michael to come in and sever these ties with love and always have love and care for this person. However, this event in this story is finished because they're not amicable to come back into center. That is how I see this. I see people getting transactional friendships are no good. I understand networking to the hilt. However, there's a difference when you help somebody and you give and you gifting them. You're gifting to say that you're receiving nothing back. And that is a true gift. That is the gifts of Archangel, the messenger gods of Ezekiel and Archangel Gabriel. Those are those messages. These are the things that come back into fruition of consciousness, where it's a thank you. Even if it is a penny, it's still a thank you. And it's a gratitude for humanity, for humility and grace. That's my take.
MJ, thank you so much. I love having you on the show because you educate, and I mean, if you like to hear more of, MJ's take on different things, just remember she does have a show every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The World of Constant Positive Thinking. Check it out.
It's easier than conscious. That word strikes everybody. TWOCAP, TWOCPT.
But I just wanted to reintroduce if you have a show every month, check it out. With that being said, I'm gonna play a little rejoinder real quick, and we are gonna go on a break. And when we come off of this break, we have Justin Miller. He is in studio. And we're going to talk with him, and we're going to find out, a little bit about his military career. We're going to most importantly find out what he's doing for veterans and what he continues to do for veterans, which I think is kind of neat. And I really appreciate not only his friendship, but for him being here today to kind of go over with us. Now, going on break, the song that we're playing, this is one that I created in like the last 3 days. Listen to the words, because I believe that this will help every veteran. So whatever you do, stay with us, don't go away. You're listening to the show that highlights all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H-Train Show right here on the show that is letting our veterans' voices be heard, the station MV.
May 22nd, 20 went to say 22 veterans don't make it through the day. I woke up still breathing, and that meant this story wasn't over. We were building up a dream, father next to son, rooms full of hope before the damage was done. Then the truth got quiet and the lies spoke loud. Someone I trusted lost me in the crowd. Sometimes when you're right, you're still losing the fight. When they swear you're the villain just for standing upright, they throw dirt on your name, try to bury your flame, but the truth in your chest doesn't burn out the same. I stood in the storm with my hands held out. Friends went silent, didn't answer the doubt. I asked for the truth, but it fell through the air. In a world full of voices, nobody cared. Sometimes when you're right, you still lose in their eyes. They'll choose what's convenient over living a lie. They throw dirt on your name, try to bury your flame, but the truth in your chest doesn't burn out the same. Somewhere tonight, someone's mad I survived. They wrote my ending while I stayed alive. They covered me in dirt, thought that was the end. But flowers don't die where they're buried, they bend. They say they want the truth, just not if it costs them. They want transparency, as long as it's popular. So they point, they judge, they walk away clean, while I'm still here living what I didn't mean. I didn't win that night, I just didn't die. When I opened my eyes, thought I'd reach the end. Saw a duck on the water, not fighting the wind. Storms hit hard, but it stayed afloat. just adjusted the boat. Sometimes when you're right, you're still losing the fight, but you're standing at dawn after darkest nights. They tried to bury your name, tried to say you were through, but you didn't go under, you grew. Still here, still breathing. Tough times don't last, but I did.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. You're listening to the H Train Show right here on the station. This is Leonard Veterans Voice. You heard. You're listening to MBR, and boy, it is that time, ladies and gentlemen, what everybody's been waiting for. It is the interview of the week.
The interview of the week is brought to you by Jersey Mike's, a sub above.
Gentlemen, joining us today, it is none other than Justin Miller. Justin Miller, I've been friends with him for, I'd say, a couple of months. We have a mutual friend, Emo. We'll call her Emo, and I'm very blessed that she introduced me to Justin. Watching his posts, watching his TikToks. You know, bringing in some information, helping some veterans through some challenging things. And, you know, even though I don't have challenging things sometimes, hearing him talking to other veterans when they're going through challenging things, I'm learning by listening and watching him interact with these other veterans. Justin, thank you so much for being on the show, being on the program. You wrote me about 45 minutes ago about, you know, not having a computer. So I was starting to get worried, but hey, look, we're here. You look great. How you been, man? How was your holiday?
Oh, it was amazing, man. I appreciate you for having me on. This holiday is actually one of the first holidays I've really, truly enjoyed. I lost a good brother of mine Christmas morning of 2006. And so every Christmas it's been hard to deal with. But this Christmas, my son came home from basic training. So it was, it gave it a different meaning.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, I don't know a whole lot about, I don't know a lot about like children and kids, because I don't really have one that's like, you know, biological. Like I take care of I took care of a little girl before I left Iraq in 2004 2005 time frame, and I reconnected with her you know, recently, and man, she has a daughter, and you know, I call her like my foster grandchild. I don't really want to say foster. I just want to say grandchild, but she is the absolute joy. She has brought a lot of life, breath into my life, and it's definitely helped me. It's definitely helped me kind of recalibrate my purpose, if that makes sense, you know.
Yeah.
So I totally get that, how that would really spark up your holidays. My holiday didn't go so well because my dad came home and he gave us COVID. So, you know, it's a gift that keeps on giving. So, you know, other than that, but it was nice to spend a little bit of time with my dad. And, you know, I've lost a hold on, let me see why.
Hey Justin, you know, I want you to flip your pattern because you've been here for 6 years.
Can you close out that screen, Lucas, because we're getting feedback because of it.
That pattern and say he my father died on Christmas Eve as well, and look at it as he just wanted everybody to remember him and the joy that you had on every Christmas. So be honored that he did it that way. That way he can always be part of your lives. Try to flip that pattern for yourself.
I appreciate that.
Hey, you're welcome. It took me a little bit too, sir. But so what is Objective Zero? What do we do here?
So Objective Zero is it's a organization that we created an app that allows instant and anonymous connection in a time of need. And it's ran off of peer support, and it is full of free mental health and wellness resources that are available at the touch of a button.
Nice. Now, is this just an app center, or is this an actual physical place center?
No, it's strictly techno. So we got the app, and then you can also go to objectivezero.org, and there's a web-based version of it as well.
I'm going to put that up for everybody. www.objective. What was it?
Zero.org.
.org. That's what I wanted. Okay.
Yep.
So on this app, tell us how that app works.
So you open it up, create an account with as little or as much information as you want. It being instant and anonymous, so all you need is an email address to get it started. And then you can go through, and so there's a daily assessment. And because of it being anonymous, that's like, you do it all the time in the military. You do your suicide prevention assessment, your mental health assessment. But I know, like myself and everybody that I knew, we lied on it because we knew that at the time, if mental health was an issue, that it would end your career. So on the app, of it being anonymous, you can answer it truly, and it gives you your assessment of where you're at, whether you're a high risk, medium risk, or low risk. And if you're high risk, then you can hit connect with the Pathfinder and either be connected immediately to the first one that responds, or you can go through and filter it. You call a crisis hotline, you get whoever answers the phone. Well, if you struggle with certain issues and that same sex of person answers the phone, then you're not going to open up. So we wanted the user to have complete control over who they talk to. So you can go in there and you can filter it by male, female, whatever branch of the military you're in, whether you're active, guard, reserve, or a veteran. You can filter it out by MOS, whether you deployed to Iraq, Afghanistan, Vietnam, you name it. It's completely customizable. So that way, when you connect to somebody, you know that that person has walked, talked, breathed, and tasted the same things you have. So there's that instant camaraderie that the conversation will just flow.
Now, are these trained people who are helping?
Yes, they do go through training. Altogether, there's about 30 hours of free training that is provided on the app.
Got you. And so does it actually connect with like clinical counselors, or are these just those that have gone through it, have leveled up to a point where they can be coaching?
All of the above. So we have our volunteers that go through, and then you also have the ability to actually filter out and find a clinician. We've also partnered with an organization called Give an Hour, which are mental health therapists that volunteer. I think it's an hour a week that they provide. So there's all forms on there. You can choose whether you want to talk to somebody who's just a veteran or a family member of a veteran, or you can talk to a medical provider.
Now, is this a free app, or is this how do you guys keep it moving, or is it a 501c3?
It is a 501c3, and it is completely free to use, free to download. There's no in-app purchases, no in-app ads. It is strictly just for you connecting with people. We realize that everybody has the ability to save a life just by the simple act of listening, just being there, not judging and saying, hey, I'm here, let's talk. And we've raised funds by speaking and partnerships.
So Justin, here comes the hard questions. Here's the hard questions that all the veterans want to know. Number one, to be part of the organization, to be involved. If you could share with, hold on a second. There we go. If you could share with us, hold on. Maybe that will fix it. Okay. If you could share with us, what are the what
I'm
are
not
the
hearing you.
you're not hearing me?
Can you hear me now? Justin?
Are you hearing me now? Oh, what happened? We were hearing feedback. All right, no worries. Justin, you still can't hear us?
Justin, do you hear me? Huh. I don't know, but I hear you.
I wonder what happened. Well, I'm going to tell Justin to refresh, and we'll just go on a real quick commercial.
Okay.
Lucas, go ahead and tell him to refresh in the private chat. And I have no idea.
So they hear us. Terry hears us.
Okay.
So they hear us on the radio. I think maybe it might be with Justin.
Maybe Justin just needs to refresh. So yeah, Lucas, write him and let him refresh. He just keeps saying that. Refresh. All right. So what we're gonna do is while we work with that, we are gonna go on a real quick, music break. Not even a real quick music break. Real quick music break, and we'll be right back.
Every setback is just a setup for a comeback. Keep quacking forward. 90% of what we worry about in future never happens. Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass. Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
All right, and we are back. Justin, can you hear us now?
I got you now.
Okay, all right, perfect. Fantastic. All right, so for the hard question, if a veteran wants to be involved, what I see, I keep hearing like that feedback. If a veteran wants to be involved in your organization, what are some of the requirements? Like, do they have to have a DD-214? Do they have to have a percentage with the VA? Tell us a little bit how that is.
No, so we take all volunteers. When you apply, you fill out a form stating who you are, what your background is, whether you're a family member, a spouse, a parent, or if you're just a patriot. And you do go through like a background check. We have a member who goes through and filters all that and reads your why. Like, why do you want to be one of our Pathfinders? And then we have somebody that does that job that goes through it all. But no, there's no requirement for percentage wise. There's, no 214. We're going strictly off your word of just wanting to help.
All right, amazing. And what are some of the events we'll definitely come up to where you can do the plugs and stuff like that for your organization, when we do the Time to Shine. But what are some of the upcoming events that you guys have planned that you can kind of promote to the veterans that are listening right now, so that they can participate in your upcoming events?
You're best to go onto LinkedIn and follow the organization, and they post what their upcoming things are, because there's sometimes that they'll have things planned for a while, and then there's other times where spur of the moment get asked to show up somewhere.
And your organization, do you have a long time, short time goal? What are you guys trying to accomplish for 2026?
They're trying to just spread throughout the country a little more. We're partnering up with different states with their veteran programs. Like we partnered with Maryland, so they're starting to push. Just gradually hitting certain areas that we see that are lacking in numbers and trying to get a bigger footprint in each area. The more people that we have using the platform, obviously, the more lives that will be able to be saved.
MJ, I'm going to let you ask the final question, and then we're going to hit the time to shine.
Do you have, my question is most of this is for people who are just in a depression state, or is it strictly PTSD states, or is it strictly just military?
It's the whole military community. So it's parents, spouses, siblings, children. You know, it's for the whole community. But yeah, it is based off the military / veteran side. But we are trying to get to the problem before it becomes a problem. We're getting people to start networking, start building their tribe, start seeking assistance before they're in their meltdown.
Yeah. So do you believe in the besides the actual physical, do you believe in the medical, the metaphysical? Is there anything in there for conscious beliefs or of our high spiritualist beliefs?
We have like meditation apps in there. That we do have yoga. So I mean, there's all kinds of mental health and wellness resources available. Everything from organizations. So what we do is they find organizations that are treating veterans that are either free or extremely low cost. So we have organizations that help veterans get service animals. We have organizations that help with housing, financial needs. So there's just a little bit of everything in there because we realize that it's not always just PTSD that causes us to break.
Right.
Relationship issues, financial issues,
Stackable
isolation.
traumas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting that you said that because I have a friend that's on TikTok. We had her on the show not too long ago. It's one of the things that she brought up when she was on our show about a month ago is most of the trauma, most of the kind of like the attacks or, you know, PTSD moments from a veteran, it doesn't exactly come from deployment, but rather than childhood trauma or childhood memories. So, you know, and then the PTSD, it just doesn't help. It just intensifies it, you know? So a normal person going through what we're going through would be like a 2 or 3, and then put in PTSD. It just overwhelms it, and then it just jumps to like an 8 or a 9. That's one thing that I've learned this year. You know, talking to the Melissa, she's one of the veteran counselors on TikTok, and if you haven't followed her on TikTok, you might want to, because she's a real good person. The only person that I know that will have a rehabilitation session, you know, a talk, and allows the veteran to drink beer. I thought that was hilarious. You know, I wish I had a strength that let me drink beer during the session, you know. But well, anyways, first of all, foremost, Justin, thank you for your service. Okay. I really appreciate your friendship, and I really appreciate you coming on today and talking to us. You know, we are coming up to that moment where we call it's your time to shine.
Today's Time to Shine is brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts, veterans, and first responders. Runs on Dunkin'.
This is your time to shine, baby. It's your time to shine.
Now, Justin, earlier, sorry about the technical issues. You know, I don't know why, but we had some mic issues, had some feedback. I have no idea what's going on, but I apologize for the issues. But is there anything before we let you go? And please have a fantastic weekend. But before we let you go, is there you know, maybe we didn't get what you wanted to talk about. You know, maybe we didn't hit that angle of the story. Maybe there's something that you still want to get off of your chest. This is your 2-minute platform to say, you know, whatever you would like to say, or, you know, get that information. You know, right now we have 47 people on social media watching us and 700 people watching on the Roku. So, you know, what you say it's going to go somewhere. So, whatever you would like to add to this before we let you go, this is your time to shine.
Well, you're enough, and you're needed, you're loved, and tomorrow is going to be a brighter day with you in it. We all have the ability to save a life. We all have the ability of listening and not judging. Just be there for somebody. Set yourself a goal of making one person smile today. And the more you accomplish, the easier it gets to start accomplishing your goals. So just keep going, and don't do this fight alone. Find your tribe, your community. There's people out there. It doesn't matter what you're going through. If you start talking about it, you'll start finding people that are dealing with the same issues and struggling with the same situations. And then you guys can help heal together. So I appreciate you having me on and giving me this amazing opportunity.
I appreciate your friendship, Justin. We're going to keep cracking at it. We're going to help even more veterans, and we're going to spread this word, because
Justin, feel free to use any of my stuff on my show, because like Joel says, it helps them flip patterns. And it's I'm a Reverend of Light as a spiritual counselor. And so I help PTSD flip patterns. So feel free to use anything in the shows that you want, whenever.
Cool. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks to MJ, I get to see a shrink 4 times a month instead of 2 times a month. So
we just flip human behavioral patterns that basically what you know or how you feel is the behaviors of what you were conditioned to actually feel and sought out, but by the time you're 7 years old. So that's why it's an unstocked, like all those traumas are a stocked trauma. So, and I love the philosophy. Yes. Don't worry. As long as today was better than yesterday, then you are freaking brilliant. And I love that philosophy.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer of changing your perspective changes everything.
Amen.
And so that's why, I do a morning live Monday through Friday on TikTok at 6:30. And my biggest reminder to everybody is, start your day off positive. Start your day off when your eyes first open up. Thank your creator, whatever it is you believe in. Thank them for giving you another day.
There you go.
Then list off 5 things you're grateful for. If you start your day off positive, the rest of your day, you start seeing the beauties and the blessings in your life. If you wake up saying, why'd you give me another day? Why didn't I just, stay asleep? Why do I have to work? Then you're going to see nothing but negatives and issues in life. So start your day off positive. Create the life that you want and the life that we all deserve.
That's perfect. You're dead on. That's why it's the world of conscious positive thinking.
That's right.
Get it, Joel?
That's what you get.
Justin, thank you so much for being on with us today. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your friendship. And ladies and gentlemen, once again,
thanks.
This was Justin Miller. He is the co-founder of Objection Zero. And if anybody wants to reach out to him, he has the TikTok, and he has this morning thing. Me and you gotta talk. We gotta get you a show here on MBR, so that not only is TikTok, but you're on Roku also. You'd be good at it. You have the face for video. Unlike me, you have the face for video. So let's just set you up with that.
Sure. Yeah, let's talk more. I'd love to.
All right, Justin. Thank you so very much, and have a fantastic weekend, okay?
See you, Justin.
You See you. Have a great weekend. Love you guys.
Buddy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was a fantastic interview. I wanted to have him on earlier, but before this year came up, but things just didn't work out. So I'm glad that we was able to get him on there, and we're getting ready to do the tribute to the trip. But before we do that, talking with Justin and stuff, MJ,
He's
I'm
right
gonna
up my alley, baby.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a moment to reflect. If there's anything that you want to talk about before we go to the tribute to the troops, it's totally up to you. MJ. You know the new format that we have. You know, taking out the music videos and just playing the 24-second clips. We're not going to be here a full 2 hours. I can tell you right now.
I'm not either.
Huh?
I said my shows aren't either.
But that's
I can only
okay.
speak so long, man. I can only speak so long before I have to get some drink of water.
Right? Well,
I love
to reflect before we go to the tribute to the troop. I want to give you your time.
Yeah, I Justin Miller as a co-founder, who code with and developed such a beautiful. Most people don't want to go to a counselor because they don't have the money, and they refuse to spend that money on that when they need groceries or they need something else. And sometimes they're not able even to go into the VA if they don't even have a percentage rating. You know what I mean? It's kind of sad that way. However, I think what's actually really good is that as a 501c3, that can help subsidize some of those who are caring. And if he has all that on a platform, I don't know what, and to give an hour, that is Christ consciousness. And thank you. And that is what positive consciousness of alignment is about, which is connecting on a level where the exchange is to giving back because you've learned, and watching your brothers or sisters of arms or any part of the families, like he said, to go through the even as first responders. The first responders also are passionate to be in that. And for me to become aware that there's an app that you can stick in your phone to be free, you can bet your donkey I'll be putting it across my screen to assist him to actually get people to go into there, because it truly is a good thing where you don't really have a lot of, if you have anxiety and depression and sadness, you don't have a lot of trust within. Or what a lot of people will end up doing, that, and this is why this will work, is because they'll end up wanting to talk to everybody about the trauma, whether it's appropriate or not appropriate. And some people won't give you the response that you're looking for, or they'll be put off, like, okay, when are you going to stop, and want to go. So listening is the key. And he's absolutely right. You have to have somebody who is listening into somebody. And that, I mean, I'm trained to spot triggers. So I find these triggers in people's words are hiccups that are not an ego's truth. So I have to stop them and going, don't go any further, because this might be your issue. And we figure that part out, and then we move forward. So there's so many different ways to heal the mental capacity of our brain that has been absorbed by man. And that's the flip patterns, is whatever is negative as a conscious that we have to bring it to a positive consciousness. And I believe that is what I did not go on the app, but you can bet your butt with me traveling everywhere here for the next 3 months, I'll probably tap into that.
Awesome. Well, MJ, I think it's that time. We're going to go to the tribute to the troops. And when we come back from tribute to the troops, what we're going to do is we're going to, we did a little bit last week, but we rushed it. But we're going to check out the free events that is happening in Pennsylvania and that is happening in Colorado this weekend, because I know that my wife likes that segment. She likes to know where the free events is. And, and just so you know, like, you're exactly right when it comes to, getting out and doing stuff and all that. Sometimes I don't think it's so much the registering with VA or dealing with the traffic. Sometimes I think it's that human nature, kind of like we are on the couch. Man, I gotta pee, but I don't really want to get up. I'll just hold it until the last second. Okay, now I gotta go, because sometimes it takes an effort, and sometimes you're just tired of doing that effort. So with that being said, we're going to go to tribute to the troop. So whatever you do, stay with us. Don't go away. You're listening to the show, The Highlights, all the nonprofit programs out there beyond the VA. You're listening to the H-Train Show right here on the station that's giving our veterans a voice, MBR.
Detail attention.
First call. The service member's name is called out loud in the context of a unit. This is meant to ensure all are present and accounted for. Second call. The name is called out again, louder, to confirm that the service member is indeed absent. Third call. The name is called out for a final time, followed by a statement indicating that the service member is not present and accounted for, signifying their death. The final roll call serves as a symbolic gesture to respect and remember their service.
Sir, I don't know how to tell this story.
Well, you got to, Joe. You tell the American people what these men did here. You tell them how my troopers died.
Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to MBR today as we pay tribute to Sergeant Thomas Allen Duren, 41 of Kingfisher, Oklahoma. Thomas was born on March 2nd, 1984 in Moore, Oklahoma, to Gerald and Marilyn Duren. Thomas was a 2002 graduate of Bethany High School. Thomas proudly served with the El Reno Police Department for 14 years, where he earned the rank of sergeant. His dedication and courage were recognized through multiple honors, including being named Officer of the Year twice and receiving the Medal of Valor. Thomas served as a defense tactics instructor, field training officer, and mentor to many, known for his humor, integrity, and steadfast leadership. Shortly before 2 a.m. on October 17, 2025, Sergeant Duren was flagged down by a pedestrian on Watt Street near Wilson Street in El Reno. As he spoke with a man on the roadside, a passing vehicle struck him and fled the scene. The pedestrian moved Sergeant Duren to safety and called for assistance. Sergeant Duren was airlifted to the University of Oklahoma Health Center, where he later succumbed to his injuries on October 24, 2025. His organs were donated following his passing, continuing his legacy of service. The driver was arrested the following day and charged with failure to stop at an accident resulting in great bodily injury and assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Dashcam video showed that the vehicle involved veered off the road and hit Duren. Thomas found joy and strength in the gym and lived out his calling as a self-proclaimed street pastor. His faith was the foundation of his life, guiding him to live boldly by the words, "Saved, not soft." Thomas inspired all who knew him through his compassion, resilience, and unwavering love for his family, friends, and the community. Thomas is survived by his wife, Kristen, and children Elliot, Cambry, Piper, and Elijah, as well as extended family and those who served with him. We here at MBR would like to thank you, Sergeant Thomas Duren, for your service and dedication to our country. You leave a legacy of love and courage. Our prayers are with your family, friends, and those who served alongside you. You are truly missed.
Bell detail, pinted, ready.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's them handwritten letters from home. It's them sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's a line. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop, and his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down, here's the light. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. Front line, Mr. Red, White, and Blue, pay the ultimate price. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one hand. 'Cause Mr. Red, White, and Blue, lay down here to lie. Mr. Red, White, and Blue, for these stars and stripes. March in line, march in line. Hey. Hey.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we are back on this Red Friday, January 9th, 2026. We had a fantastic, I think we've had a fantastic show.
I do too.
We had Justin Miller on to talk a little about the Objective Zero project, and it is that time, MJ. We're going into the final thoughts.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition. Strap in.
It's the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. What we learned today. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
At Project ML, gratitude. Our mission is simple: to give motorcycles to veterans who need the kind of peace and freedom that only a ride can give.
All right, so we just want to remind everybody that ML Gratitude, every year they give a motorcycle away to a veteran that is in need of wind therapy. You can go to their website and you can nominate yourself. You can nominate a veteran to receive a free bike. Also, I was just invited yesterday. They just closed the contracts on it. The Denver Expo, January 31st. They will be at the Denver Expo, and they will be introducing and showing veterans and first responders exactly what ML Gratitude is about. So if you don't know what ML Gratitude is about, if you haven't checked out how Kim Tompkins, I keep messing up her last name, and that's a really good friend of mine. So if I butcher your name ever, don't feel bad. It's
Maddie Hall.
It's just my character, I guess. But
hey, you know what, Joel?
Yes.
I'm going to help you have a better life with Cassie because we skipped over the free events.
Well, no, we're getting ready to do the free events.
Oh, I thought you were going to something else.
No.
Okay, my apologies. You still have that home piece with Cass.
Yeah. Trust me, I have it. She'll let me hear if I don't. All right. So, do you have any free events that are going in your area this weekend that you'd like to talk to everybody about?
We're going to go for a little bit. We're going to take you through a journey through Pennsylvania because there's some big things happening.
All right,
January 10th through the 17th, completely free. And if you've never been to the Pennsylvania Farm Show, it is one of the largest agricultural expositions in the United States with livestock exhibits, competitions, demonstrations of all of our beautiful horses, cows. You gotta go. It is like free. It's the best thing you'd ever do if you've never been to one. Winterfest 2026, January the 17th, another free family friendly winter festival with snowshoeing, ice skating, sledding, kids crafts, and nature programs. Hot chocolate and hot dogs are free while supplies last. That is at the Hills Creek State Park on January the 17th. We also have a free Pennsylvania Human Relationships Commission free online and in-person events about social justice and civil rights. It is example the No Hate in Our State. It's a panel and social justice lecture. We also have the Winter Academy virtual lunch break on January the 22nd. It's a free educational virtual talk about regional history and industry. Pre-registration required for access. Still going on free as all of our state parks and nature trails. They're year-round state parks. Just be very careful. Some of those cliffs to those falls are real slippery this time of the year. Also, free library events. All local libraries in the state of Pennsylvania. Free library in Philadelphia. Our free workshops, job help sessions, readings and activities, and university community events. Just like the Kelly Writers House in the University of Pennsylvania hosts free readings, lectures, film screenings, and literary programs to all the open public. That's right.
Wow. All right, my turn. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the Denver Metro Front Range, and keep in mind that everything that we're talking about, you can check that out at website Denver. Visit Denver. It's a website. The free day at Denver Museum of Science, Nature and Science. There's free general admission Sunday, January 11th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Now, keep in mind, if you do have a blue retired ID card or active duty ID card, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science is free all the time. So keep that in mind. Self-guided art, history, and fun. Explore downtown Denver with free Denver story, trek walking tours, and public art tours. Community art and other events calendar. Please visit Denver's free listings for more updated items like live music, artwork, and fairs happening this weekend. Now, I do know off the top of my head, pretty sure that this is the first Saturday of January. So with that being said, since it's the first Saturday of January, there's a free art walk show that's at the VFW Post 1 every first Saturday of the month. Also, the National Western Stock Show. Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. I took down the Christmas tree, and boy, did I get yelled at by my wife. She told me that you never take down the Christmas tree until the National Western Stock Show is over. And I'm like, really? Because it doesn't get over until like January 13th or something. But hey,
my mom believes in after Three Kings, so
it's here. So most activities aren't free. The grounds admission will be free Tuesday, January 13th. Good to plan ahead. All right. McGregor Square Winter Skate Nights. While sometimes hosting free or low cost themes like retro skate nights, special community events, check the current schedule. You may have free participation. I tell you what, I used to be a roller skater in high school. I mean, I was really good. Like I had several people. Oh, you're gonna go to the Olympics for skating. Went to the Paralympics for something else. It wasn't skating, but man, did I used to roller skate. We had a south side and we had a north side in Kokomo where
we had a south side roller skating rink too.
Yeah, I loved it. You know, I tell you, the roller skating thing really it was a success of my childhood because it gave me a chance to interact with other people, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot, especially learning from other kids from other schools, what they go through, what they did, and stuff like that. So many times I wanted to change schools because I had more friends at the other school than I did at my school, probably because they got to spend more time with me. I don't know. But
Joe was the big network guy. He was networking back then.
But yeah, there's free attractions around Denver. We've got 4 Mile High Historical Park. Free historical park space tours. Check the hours. Colorado Springs Pioneer Museum. Often free admission to explore local history. Self-guided night seeing, outdoors art, parks, and fun urban trails are free any day. Family and community. Check the free community calendars like the Golden Triangle Creative District pop-up arts show, block parties, and markets. It's open to the public this weekend. And, I couldn't help but tell people that, there's some hidden gems here in Colorado. 2 of the hidden gems, and like I was supposed to go with, I call her my sister, my battle buddy. She's in Colorado Springs. I was supposed to go with her to it this week, but she came down with the flu, unfortunately. Brandy, if you're listening, I hope you get a lot better. But it's called Helen Hunt's Fall. It's a gym here in Colorado. Not a lot of people know about it. If you decide to take that long incline walk like you do in Colorado Springs, it takes you to a beautiful waterfall. And that's one of the many free events that you can do over the weekend. Also, if you've never heard of Bishop's Castle here in Colorado, I encourage you to check that out. Unfortunately, Mr. Bishop, he died last year, but his legacy and the castle that he spent 44 years building, it's still being visited today. So you want to go ahead and check those things out. Now, if you have events in your local area and you would like to share those, especially since you watch the show, let's say that you're in Texas or you're in Missouri or you're in Tennessee, make sure you send us those community calendars because we like reading that stuff off and explaining to everybody. Now, this weekend, don't forget, it's Wild Card Weekend. And boy, I didn't bring up who's playing. I know. Well, who is it, Lucas? It's Jackson Jaguars. They're going against, I believe they're going against the Los Angeles Chargers. And I believe the New England Patriots are going against.
Oh, man. Yep, I am not familiar with the bracket. Well, just because I have I've pretty much just kind of spaced out like the AFC, just because AFC's just been
yeah, you like the
been ugly.
49ers. You like the 49ers, so you don't really care about the AFC too much.
Well,
so
except for the Denver Broncos,
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. The AFC has been responsible for some ugly football this year. So
who do the 49ers play this? Or do they play Saturday or do they play Sunday?
Philadelphia Eagles. They'll be playing them Sunday.
Okay, all right. So Sunday must be NFC Day, and Saturday must be AFC. And I know the New England Patriots. They go against. Why is that like? Oh, Buffalo Bills. They go against the Buffalo Bills. That's interesting. I truly believe that the Chargers are going to win Saturday, and I see an upset. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to be able to pull out and beat the New England Patriots. But we'll find out. Who are you thinking for San Francisco against the Philadelphia Eagles?
I mean,
I know you're biased, but
I am a little biased, yeah, for sure. But no, I'm hoping that the 49ers are able to to just kind of pull it out. But
hey, turn that hope to faith. I have faith we're gonna pull it out. Turn that hope to faith, baby.
Where's Tim Tebow when you need him?
Yeah.
I tell you what, I truly think for the Super Bowl, I truly think that I honestly think it's going to be Denver Broncos against Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. I think it's
Very
going to be
possible.
kind of like a revenge tour, because we got tore up bad in New York when we played Seattle, and we get a second chance. That's my thing. So we'll see if that happens. But that's my guess for the Super Bowl is going to be the Seattle Seahawks against the Denver Broncos. I don't even know who Seattle plays Saturday.
Well, I mean, like there's good odds for those for that matchup.
So, all right, everybody. Well, you know what? We're that's all the free events. Those are all the little gems that we're going to talk about. Before we go, I'm going to give you guys a chance to plug your show. MJ, what are you going to be talking about Monday?
So everybody's going to have a treat. It's what I've learned. Every Monday, I'll be in a different place, except for all of February, I'll be in the 305. But every Monday show, you're going to find MJ's Hippie Trail, why I get the hell out of here and figure out where I go and why I go there. So that's going to be now until probably March. Every Monday show, I'll be in a different place. So where in the world is not Carmen Sandiego, but MJ Gonzalez? So I love doing this. It's I live like a free spirit, and I'm thankful that I'm capable of doing it, and thankful that I'm allowed to do it, and I get to do it. And so, yep, that's every Monday show, unless something really troubling within our world comes up that needs a flip pattern, or somebody makes a suggestion. Then
Or
I'll
we have to go to take Ozzy to the emergency room again. Yeah, I get it.
Poor guy. That's it. That kidney stones. If you had kidney stones, you only get one shot. You get a Toradol shot, and that is it for about 6 months. You can't because it hurts your liver. So
Hey,
you gotta,
and Ozzy, if you're listening, I told MJ the way to fix it. She'll explain it to you behind the scenes. I was looking out for you, bro. I'm just gonna let you know. I was looking out for you, bro code. Okay.
I'm gonna let him know what you said. I don't think he's listening. I think he's sleeping in a bed, but I'll let him know.
Lucas, what do you have planned on Wednesday? What game are you going to be showcasing?
Oh man, it's I waffle every week on like what I want to do, and so I don't know. I think I'm going to surprise myself. But no, I do hope to visit a role playing game, and so we'll get into that. Just coming off of talking about like the Alien RPG, like we may just continue some more talk into role-playing games, but I don't know. We'll see.
I gotta get my head out of the gutter. Whenever he says role-playing games,
I know, me too.
Where my head's going.
That's because you told me about kidney stones. That's exactly. Everybody said, I was like, well, don't do it. Don't go there.
All right. Last but not least, next Friday we have a veteran's wife. It's called the Crayon Eating Wife. She has a group on Facebook. She has a lot of fun content, just a really good person. We're going to be having her on the show next Friday, so we'll have iCandy as a co-host and iCandy as a guest. So we're looking forward to that. So Beth King will join us next Friday, and other than that, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our show for today. And as always, I want to remind everybody that here at the H-Train Show, here at Military Broadcast Radio, we all come together as volunteers for free because we are here for you, not for us. And all of them said together, giving our veterans a voice. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we love you and we thank you for listening and watching and tuning in. Have a fantastic weekend. Go Denver Broncos. See you next Friday.
Life is like a duck. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. Here at Military Broadcast Radio, we're teaming up with our friends at Die Tired, the veteran-friendly music band spreading strength, resilience, and mental health awareness one shirt at a time.
And check this out. Their brand new shirts feature broadcast beaker right on the breast pocket. A reminder that you can weather the storm and you're never alone.
Shirts are only $25 and proceeds support giving veterans a voice. MBR's mission to teach veterans how to podcast and videocast. Because when our vets are talking, they're not overthinking. They're not second-guessing. Together, we stop the 22 stigma. Grab your shirt today at mbradio.us and hit the shop. Or go directly to toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband. That's toramerch.printavo.com/merch/dietiredband.
Suit up, stand strong.
Remember, we're unduckable together.
You're built tougher than the storm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.